Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm the Texas Lauren. Today I'm talking about my journey to be 100 days sober off weed, alcohol, and ADHD medicine. And today, in this snippet, I'm going to talk about quitting drinking and for the summer and what that looks like. My aim is to kind of talk to people out there who maybe alcohol is not enhancing their life right now. This is not necessarily about sobriety as much as it is giving yourself a break from some things that may or may not be enhancing your life. So it's all from my perspective. This is not an advocacy for no alcohol, but I'm going to talk about my story and how it kind of was impacting me when I was drinking, and I'm just going to get into it. So I've always had kind of an interesting relationship with alcohol. Always kind of known as like a drinker, like kind of wild when I would drink, like party girl kind of thing. And recently, I've taken breaks off alcohol just because I felt like it. I wasn't the type, I didn't need it all the time. But sometimes when I'd start drinking, I'd want it. Like if I drank on a Friday night, I definitely want to drink Saturday night. And as I've gotten older, I've kind of realized that my chemical balance after I drink, I've noticed, is kind of off. And I know that, like, scientifically to be true, that it can throw people off for days afterwards. And I've just like slowly been absorbing these articles and just things I've seen online, like statistics and things like that about how alcohol really affects the brain. And lately I've been wanting to get really clear on my purpose. I'm on a spiritual path. I mean, we all are to different degrees, but I'm pretty in it. And I definitely think I'm here on planet Earth for a purpose. And I think recently alcohol was messing up my equilibrium in the sense of like my chemicals. Like I wouldn't be as happy for a few days, or using up I don't know the specific chemicals, but I think it was using up my supply of creativity. And so I just wanted to test it out. And after one night of kind of just like overdoing it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit drinking for like 30 days. And this was May 20th, so just leading into the summer. And I didn't know how I was gonna do it because, summer, drinking, outdoor activities, socializing, all that kind of stuff. But I made it to 30 days and decided, okay, like why not do another month? And that kind of led to 100 days, which I met my 100 days like a little less than a week ago. So I'm feeling really good. People were like, wow, you must feel great. But the truth is, and I do, but the truth is I quit smoking weed, doing my ADHD medicine and drinking at the same time. So there was no like differentiation between the two. I just kind of went cold turkey. But sorry, this is just kind of personal information I'm sharing. But anyway, I have noticed and obviously initially you're gonna feel better like physically, but I've noticed just in this last after the 100-day mark, like mentally I feel so much better. And that can't be just attributed to alcohol or the medicine or like pot. Like I think it's collectively. And I just think not having to worry about alcohol and not driving or like being strategic. I was never a drinker and driver, like that's not my thing, thank God. And but I remember when I would drink, I'd be strategic about where I was sleeping or just making sure I was safe. And that's been a relief. It's been a relief not to wake up with any hangovers or regretting anything, or like texts you might have sent or things you might have said or ways you might have embarrassed yourself or like even hurt yourself, tripped or whatever. But so that's where I am now. I hope I'm not leaving anything important out, but I'm doing hard 75 right now, so you're not allowed to drink on that anyway. And I just noticed myself kicking the can down the road as far as drinking. We had family over this weekend, and of course my family all drinks, and it really wasn't that tempting. I like how I feel not drinking. I like what I'm doing not drinking. And it's not to say I'll never have a glass of wine with like a meal or steak or something. And it's not to say I'll never drink again, but right now it feels really good not to drink. I like my equilibrium mentally when I'm not drinking, and it just feels good. And it feels like I have more clarity on my purpose. And without those activities, you know, smoking, drinking, all that stuff, I've spent a lot more time, you know, writing my book, doing the things that I've been wanting to do, but just putting off for a long time. And yeah, not drinking just brought me a lot of clarity. It feels good. And I think if anyone's curious about stopping drinking or putting a little pause on it for a moment, like, I think it's interesting to see who you are and the things you do when you're not drinking. And yeah, so like I've filled that void, like the time void basically, with doing the things that I've been wanting to do, and like my purpose, and just getting clearer on it just without the distractions. So that's what I've been up to. Initially people were a little bit surprised. I kind of felt like I needed to explain myself, like, oh, I'm not an alcoholic, but I'm just not drinking. But yeah, it's been good. And I've actually noticed a lot of people in like the community, you know, the spiritual community, or like the self-development community, have recently quit drinking. And I don't know if that's a collective thing, but I'll tell you, something bigger than me felt like it was telling me like I needed to analyze my relationship with alcohol. And yeah, were there moments where it was tempting? Yes, but I also felt like this higher pull to not drink. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I know that like you can use alcohol to like channel different spiritual levels of consciousness too, but I also think it kind of makes you open to other things and other energies, like lower energies, if you will. So anyway, that's been my experience quitting. And like to say, I don't really call myself sober per se. I know I started out the video like that, but it's more just experimentation, and I've really enjoyed not drinking. And so we're through the summer. So yeah, not to say I'll never drink again, but I think moving forward, I want to be more intentional when I do drink. I don't know what that looks like yet, but just not going overboard with it. And yeah, so that's kind of my story. This is vulnerable for me. I don't know if I included everything in here, but I just wanted to get that out there because on my Instagram, I had a lot of people reaching out and like a lot of support for, you know, taking a break for a little bit. So anyway, that's my story, and I'll see you next time.